Alright. Okay, so guys, this is the Temple of Apollo at Corinth. It was constructed in 540 BCE and is characterized by monolithic columns, and they are quarried from a limestone ridge near the location of the temple. It's considered to be a Doric peripheral temple, being 6 columns wide by 15 columns long, but only the 7 we see right here still remain today. Elements of the ground plan for the other structures that were in there are actually still visible though. The remaining columns are about 4 meters high with a column base diameter of 1.9 meters. The temple includes a diastyle in antis pronaos, or portico, and opisthodomos, porches near the rear of the temple, as well as 2 cella, or inner chambers. The western cella had 4 interior columns and the eastern had 8. The archaic temple was built actually on the site of an earlier 7th century BC temple, and some remains of which have been excavated from the area of Temple Hill. It remains well preserved over the centuries and is one of the older surviving temples in Greece, thanks primarily to its isolation. The ancient ruin was not rediscovered until 1765 when the French architect Joachim Boucher, I don't know French, stumbled on it by accident, actually. Wilhelm Dorpfeld, German guy, first excavated the site in 1886. Although the identity of the god for whom the temple was first dedicated is in doubt, is that this is the temple that Pausanias identified. The temple's isolated location and unusual dedication to the Greek word for it either means helper or protector, have kept scholars occupied for over 200 years. One explanation is that the villagers of nearby Vigalos prayed to Apollo for protection from a plague and built the temple in gratitude for his assistance. Another theory is that Apollo was considered the protector of the Arcadians, especially the mercenaries who funded the temple. Whatever the reason for its construction, the Temple of Apollo was no modest backwoods shrine. It was built on a grand scale with great precision and architectural creativity. The combination of Doric and Ionic orders in a single structure was quite daring, and its Corinthian capital is the oldest known example in the ancient world. In 1811 and 12, British and German antiquarians poked around the ruins a bit and brought Metopi sculptures back to their own countries. The cella, or the inner chamber friezes, were bought by the British government for 19,000 euros and are placed in the British Museum where they remain today. I think there's actually a really big controversy. Greece is trying to get the friezes back for their national museum. Like, they built a museum for these friezes and the British government won't give them back. The Greek Archaeological Society restored the temple from 1902 to 1906, re-erecting some of the fallen columns and restoring the cella walls. Another renovation was carried out in the 1960s, during which some extra fragments of the frieze were excavated. A temporary protective tent was erected over the temple in 1987, and it says that it still remains in place today, but I don't see it. It's supposed to help keep